Hey everybody, this is Jim McDonald. Welcome to episode 106 of the PowerCast. This is a continuation, as I said last week, of the one recording session in which our special guest ran a little bit late, and so we ended up with 2 episodes worth of material. So some information, some background on part 2. On August 5th, 2014, a lone gunman opened fire on a group of about 90 U.S. and British military personnel and civilian contractors, members of the Afghan military and NATO security personnel at the Marshal Fahim National Defense University on the edge of Kabul, Afghanistan. Major General Harold Greene was shot and killed, making him the highest-ranking U.S. officer to be killed in battle since the Vietnam War. Approximately 17 others were injured, including my younger son's best friend, the boy that I call my third son, Specialist William Hoover. It's very weird because at this time last year I was sitting at Walter Reed with Will, helping him through pretty much every day. My wife and I stayed for basically the first 6 weeks that he was in the hospital, and my son went for a good 2 months after that. And he is still recovering, but this is our first opportunity to get him on the show to talk about what happened and really what his physical preparedness going into this battle meant to his, not only his survival, but his recovery. So I hope you enjoy this episode. This one means a lot to me. If you could because apparently people don't like things unless I just tell them to like them. So please like this episode, please share this episode, please subscribe to my channel because I would really appreciate that. So without further ado, here's episode 106 of the PowerCast. Recorded live at Super Training Gym in West Sacramento, California, the strongest gym in the West. This is Mark Bell's PowerCast. Sponsored by HowMuchYouBench.net, ThePowerMagazine.com, CavemanCoffeeCo.com, and Compex Muscle Stim products at ShopCompex.com. Alongside Silent Mike and Jim McD, here's your host, Mark Bell.
And we're back.
And we're back. Your little shtick. We're back, and I'll let Jim McD do the intro here.
Well, today is, we haven't talked about this part, but today is actually Purple Heart Day. Mm-hmm. And
I found that out this morning.
Yeah. Instagram. We have with us today, you guys may remember about a year ago, I started talking about an incident in Afghanistan where a person very close to me was involved and was wounded. It was it was actually a year ago this past Wednesday, the 5th. Mm-hmm. It was at the Afghan Military Academy, and I've heard it described as being like West Point, but I don't know, is it really that age group?
It's well, right now the military academy is being built.
Yeah.
But they're going to want it to be that age group.
Okay.
They want to train the future leaders of Afghanistan in there, and it's the only military academy they're going to have. They're not going to have multiple like we do. Yeah. It's their only one.
Well, this person is Will Hoover, who was involved in the incident. He was wounded in the incident, and he along with 17 other people, and the highest-ranking military officer to be killed in battle since Vietnam. Major General Harold Greene died in the same incident, and Will nearly lost his life that day. And we celebrated his alive day on Wednesday that survived the incident. So. Wanted to bring him on, not just because this is a personal story for me, but we had talked to Matt Wenning sometime back about preparedness for battle. Like he has been working with the Army because the physical training is deficient. They don't really, even in boot camp, they don't get guys ready for battle. Anymore.
Not enough with weights was his point. He just would like to see them, a little bit more focused on strength. Yeah. Most everything is endurance based.
Jogging and stuff.
We're not going to be running for 2 hours in the middle of combat. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you have vehicles. Yeah, I mean, if you need to travel that far.
Yeah, a lot of guys dismount before die overseas, and it's like, I'm sorry, but that's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're going to have your weapons. You're going to need
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you're going to have that's better. Yeah. You're going to have your weapons. You're going to need to be able to get over low walls. They love low walls over there.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to need to be able to get over them. You're going to need to be able to pick your
Write this
buddy
down,
up and
Mike.
run.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that just can't do it.
Right.
Like I'm like, for instance,
That's
in our
gotta
team.
be fucking hard. Yeah, pick up a body.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking run. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I realized when I first got over there, I was 170, maybe, and when I got shot, I was 210. But when I first got there, I was 170, and the guy in my group, he was like 220, just yoked out, and I had to do a drill where I had to pick him up and move him, and I realized like I need to double my leg days.
Yeah.
It just wasn't working.
Yeah. So you survived because you were more jacked.
Yeah. Actually, that's what the doctor told me.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, they said my cardiovascular system and my muscles helped stop some of the rounds and helped me when I was bleeding out from dying.
It makes sense. The
Well,
better
and
shape
also-
you in helps you with everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, the second that you're down, the second that you're bedridden is the second your body starts to atrophy, no matter how big you are. But if you're bigger, have a little bit more muscle going in, it should help.
Well,
You were boxing and lifting, right?
yeah, I was doing 3 workouts a day, and then I would go and help teach a boxing class.
Dang.
Oh.
Was that out
Every
of boredom, or was that
It was out
just
of,
to stay that good a shape?
Well, I wanted to get into a lot better shape. By the time I wanted to get home, I wanted to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger than what I was coming in. And I had, to me, I thought I had 3 more months to go. But we're working out 7 days a week. We're going on mission almost 7 days a week, so it made sense. You get up, work out, eat, go on mission, come home, work out, eat,
Yeah.
get out of work, work out, eat, teach boxing class, go to bed.
The only thing missing from the equation is tanning.
But who wants to go
Yeah.
outside, right?
Yeah, fuck that. Bunch of sand everywhere.
120 degrees. Yeah, I've heard that the smell is one of the more.
What does it smell like?
Memorable
Why does it stink
things.
so bad?
Let's see. You ever go to a public park and you have to go to the bathroom, so you go into their toilets that the homeless guys have been using
Yeah.
every day,
Just
and
the
they never
whole
clean them.
Place smells like that?
Yeah,
That's
pretty
awesome.
much.
Oh,
Pretty much, and then it's
Road
worse.
trip.
Yeah, exactly. Yay! But yeah, it gets worse when you go onto their bases or onto their facilities, and they have trash burning pits. They don't put them in landfills; they burn everything. Their
Just on
trash-
site?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Their trash, their feces, everything.
Oh,
They burn it all in one pile.
burning
It's like-
human feces?
Burning
Oh,
poop.
Yeah, that's why the military, they're actually giving more, I think it's 5 or 10% disability if you live by a burn pit, because all the junk that you sucked in,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
horrible. It stinks.
You get pink lung instead of pink eye.
Pink everything. Everything gets fucked up. Tell us, walk us through what happened. Did you guys get blown up, or what the hell happened?
Okay, so that day, we were going to be showing around dignitaries. We weren't told how many people were going to be there, but we're going
What's
to
a
be
dignitary?
Anybody in that
I
the
got
military.
no idea.
That's fine. Everybody that the military sends down, that they're like protect.
Right.
That's
Okay.
our dignitaries.
Gotcha.
Most of the time, they're like high-ranking GS civilians. Like, I'm not sure what the GS stands for, but I know a GS-12 is like a major in equivalence type of thing. And like we'd get like GS-14s, GS-15s. They're like more. They're more.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
They're more of the like colonel, general.
So like your
officer
big
area.
wigs and executives
Yeah,
in the
the ones-
corporate world.
Exactly,
Yeah.
the ones in control of everything.
Gotcha.
And then sometimes we would get high-ranking military officers as well, but we mostly dealt with civilians. For instance, that day, the civilian that we were walking around was the main guy in control of all the building. He oversaw everything.
He's American?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. He's actually about to come home soon from Afghanistan.
Okay.
Spent a 2-year stint there. But we're showing him around. Another one of his
Showing him around,
civilians.
just what?
Making
What are you
sure.
showing?
Yeah, you said
just-
there was an academy you guys were setting up,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
so the academy was just being built, and you guys were kind of
Roger.
protecting it, or
Yeah, it just was ending phase 1 and going into phase 2, and they wanted to show the
Is
generals
this like
and
X-Men
everybody.
type shit that we shouldn't know about?
yeah.
Well, I mean, the count's already out, so
All right.
what are they going to do? Shoot me?
Yeah, exactly.
and it's being built by the U.S.
Mhm.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Yeah,
we were there
attached to.
Yeah, the engineers themselves are not actually building it. They oversee everything.
Okay.
So they have to approve everything that's get built. They have to make sure it's being built to standard. And but the Afghan nationals are the ones that build it. They're the ones that provide the employees, but we're the ones that pay them.
Okay.
So we have to make sure that if they say 150 people are there, there's really 150 and not 15, and they're lying because they do that all the time. But that day we're just walking around with our two civilians and our commander to make sure that if anything did happen, that we can get them out, get them safe, get them off site before they got injured. That's what our job was. We were there to protect them. We were Secret Service for the Army.
On a scale of like 1 to 10, how likely was it that anything was going to happen? Like, has it happened in the past? Is it like, like this shit's scary, or this shit's normally pretty calm?
Well, anytime you go out, there's always a fright that the Afghan nationals that you're working with are going to trade on you, because it happens all the time. That's the reason we're actually put in, because the Afghan nationals were the ones protecting our contractors before, and I guess an incident happened and they ended up turning on the contractor and killing him.
Oh shit!
So they made guardian angels, which were us, to come in and take over for the nationals now. So we're making sure. But every time we go out, anytime we work with them, it's always we always have to be on guard, but we have to trust them at the same time. So it sucks.
Yeah, so you're always nervous.
Is there a lot of training that goes into that, like what to look for type deal, or just fucking be on edge?
Yeah. To get this position, I had to apply with about 4,000 or 5,000 other people.
Oh, okay.
And we were picked. So they tried to pick the best that they could, the people that they thought could take care of the job.
Right. Gotcha.
And you had to go through a number of security checkpoints on the way to the where this presentation was being held outside, right?
Yeah, we had to do the standard 2 checkpoints, but then we also set up another 2 checkpoints just to make sure that those guys were doing their job.
Gotcha.
And we went. There was no way anybody was going to sneak anything in easily.
Right.
And he didn't sneak anything in. We gave him everything he hit us with.
Right.
So
yeah, what happened was that an Afghan national attacked you guys from a bathroom window.
yeah, the guy, he was on our side, and he just found a moment of opportunity that he could betray us, and he did. He hit himself in the bathroom. Like, their main building supplies is cement.
Right.
So they don't do like us where they build like wood and all this other stuff. It's cement. So he knew he was going to be safe from gunshot wounds, gunshots. So he barred off the bathroom so we couldn't go in, and he set up with a window and only had his head leaking out so he can see where he was shooting.
Right.
And that was it. The window actually has a hose coming out of it, and he put his rifle on top of the hose or by it, and to make it like blend in with the hose, and it worked. I mean, we were looking around that whole time, looking for anything that was going on. We couldn't see anything until the rounds went off.
Right.
How did he get a weapon? He just was allowed to have one because he was on your side, and so you thought.
Yeah, his group came in there and cleared that area to make sure that nobody was going to try to kill us.
Right.
And I guess when they left, he stayed behind and they didn't notice. So
and you guys are just you're on foot, you're standing, and he just opens fire. I mean, is it like how far away is he?
He was about maybe 10, 15 feet away from me.
Wow,
pretty
damn
very
close.
Far. Yeah.
So Jesus.
Based on this
could have just
picture,
literally just took out 60 people if he.
Oh yeah, if he kept shooting and he was able to reload and everything, and we didn't take him down, he could have killed almost everybody.
Yeah.
Wow. Because he's by the time I was able to take him down, he was starting to shoot at the people on the ground.
Yeah.
So this picture is, and I'll be people be able to see it on the video version. What's going on in this picture?
So I'm not able to point it out, but I'm in the second row from the bottom. I have a metal little clip on the back of my uniform.
Yep.
We use it. It's for just in case anybody is able to hit us and they can't get us out, they can just grab it and pull.
Okay.
It's real easy. I didn't think I was ever actually going to need to use it.
Right.
But
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Okay. So 1 minute prior, this was taken about a minute prior to the attack, and the shooter is directly below where the picture is being taken.
Okay. Inside
inside the building,
the structure that's being built.
Yeah, it's
over here.
No, directly below, like
behind
here?
you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like the
behind.
picture's
Okay.
being
Yeah,
taken
yeah.
on the roof, and he's like right under it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So when he opened up, that's when he started shooting. Was your back was kind of towards him?
Yeah, I just happened to be stepping back into the side because I was going to walk around the other way.
Is there any strategy with the way that you guys are standing, or is it just you guys are just standing?
We're behind our primary, so just in case anything did happen, we can grab them real quick and get out.
Right. Okay.
But I didn't like how the gate was open. That gate is open to Stan, like it's open
Over
to
by the car.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to take a look and see if that guy was planning anything, that gate guard.
Right.
So I wanted to walk over and get a better look at that whole area. And right when I stepped back is when the rounds went off.
Oh shit.
And I'm glad I did because I took one in the side instantly and one into the shoulder.
Wow.
And the one I
Yeah,
took
you're almost closest to where the shooter would be.
Yeah, I was
That's fucking crazy.
when I stepped back, I was about the same length as that first row.
I know you guys are used to guns going off and stuff like that, but when you hear them, in this case, did you know what was going on right away, or was it like, what the fuck is happening?
When I got shot in the shoulder, I passed out for a half second.
Yeah.
Like I woke up on the ground, and I thought we got like getting mortared, and I was like, what the heck's going on? And I tried lifting my arm, and I realized that my left arm was out of commission. I looked over, and it was a gunshot wound. I was like, oh, we're getting shot at.
Yeah.
And this all happened within like 3 or 4 seconds. It was real quick.
Yeah.
So I jumped up, seeing if my civilians were good. They were good. Commander took a round in the rear.
Damn.
He got force skumped.
Yeah, shot in the butt.
And I got shot again when I got up. I got shot in the lower back, and
Jesus.
I went over to grab the colonel. He's the guy in front of the guy in the white.
Gotcha. Okay.
One down. Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
I went over to grab him because he was kneeling. None of the officers had any gear on. I'm not sure.
You have a vest on or something?
I had a vest on. I had gear on. But none of the officers had any gear or weapons. I'm not really sure who gave that order down, but that was not the smartest thing in the
They
world.
showed up casual.
Yeah. No, they showed up in their gear and with their weapons, but they were told to take them off. This is a secured area. Good. And I'm not sure who gave that order.
Casual
but it had to be
Friday.
one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's scary.
Hey, guys, come in your pajamas. It's good.
I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Crazy.
and I ran over. I was going to grab him, and as soon as I got to him, I got shot in my leg.
Yeah. Shit.
So I sat in front of him and tried to return fire with my rifle. Not only could I not control it, it jammed after 3 rounds. So that
What
just
is your
sucked.
job at that point? I mean, I know it's fucking chaos and survive, but like, what's your job at that point?
Technically, my job is to keep my primary safe at all costs, but
Right.
I was closer to this guy than them.
Gotcha.
I can get him out and then go back for them because they were somewhat secure. My 2 civilians were trying to get over behind that yellow and black wall, so they were trying to get out of the view.
Yeah, just kind of hide.
This one or
exactly.
This one?
No,
This one?
That one, yeah.
This
yeah,
one,
that
okay.
one. They're
To
just
the
trying to
left.
get out of the view, hide. So I knew they were going to be fine. They didn't get injured. They were able to get out, luckily. My commander was already on the ground. I knew I wasn't going to be able to lift him with my left arm. So I went to the guy I could help.
Right.
And as soon as I got to him, I got shot in the leg. So I just sat in front, told him to get behind me. Started to return fire with my rifle. Nah, it wasn't going to work. If you go back to the window picture, I'll actually show you where my rounds
What kind of gun did you have? I know some people listening probably into that sort of stuff.
I had an M4.
Okay. I don't know anything about guns.
That's a
but
pretty
it is
big rifle, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And you're
pretty
trying to
good.
shoot it one-handed?
And does
It
he have
wasn't working.
And does he have the same thing?
He had an M16, a heavier weapon. It shoots a little bit longer, but ours is better for close combat.
How sad is that? I only know that because of video game. Yeah. So sad.
That's most of our.
Yeah, it's so
audience right there.
ridiculous.
Mike, tell us what you would do in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
If this
it's so
situation,
ridiculous.
Came up.
Yeah, I can't even comprehend. I have no clue.
Yeah, I had second wind. Pull out my right pistol.
Yeah.
Just go at it.
Yeah, calling an airdrop.
Exactly. But yeah, you see the rounds at the top left-hand corner.
Yeah, there's a chip.
No, top
yeah,
left-hand.
chip.
Like in the cement.
Yeah, I see the chip.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
big chip
like-
and then a bunch of holes.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I hit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's got to be impossible.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like I pull and
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to know, like, okay, there's one guy, and he has a gun, and he's in this bathroom?
I had no idea. I just seen I seen a couple guys shooting towards the bathroom, and I seen muzzle flashes coming from it. So I was like, you know what? That's obviously where it's coming from.
Try to go over there.
Exactly. After my rifle jammed, I dropped it and thought for a half second, oh, great, I'm dead. I'm like, wait, no, I got a pistol.
Anybody else in on this plan, or is it just this one dude?
Just this guy.
Okay.
His generals were actually getting fired at by him.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So, I mean, the Afghan army had no clue what was going on because they wouldn't risk their highest ranking generals.
What? Why does this happen? I'm super naive and don't understand like hardly any of this. Is it just religion or what?
Well, there's 100 different reasons it could happen. I mean, like the most common usually.
I guess the question is like, what's the guy get out of it? Like,
Yeah, the most common usually are his family is being threatened by Al Qaeda or the Taliban, whoever's over there. I can't remember.
Yeah, they know he's inside.
Yeah, they're
so they
saying
try to.
you attack him or we're gonna cut your family's head off.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
They can give him money if he's like hard for cash. They're like, hey, I'll give you 10 grand, do this.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. Sometimes they grow up in like Taliban controlled villages.
Gotcha.
And join specifically for this, and they bide their time until they can.
Right.
That's crazy.
But
So like sleeper agent kind
yeah,
of deal. Yeah,
exactly. Like you just have no idea. Like, and what his friends were saying is that he's just mentally messed up. That it had nothing to do with Taliban. He just was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, they used the term self-radicalized,
Okay.
where he something snapped someday. It's not like somebody approached him. It's just that he one day decided it was a good thing to do.
Yep, that's what.
How'd this situation close out?
Well, there was two guys on their feet. One was my squad leader, Staff Sergeant Giancola. He was returning fire with his rifle. He didn't get shot. He got shot through his armpit, but not too terribly bad. Then there's a Danish guy. I'm not sure what his name is. He was returning fire as well. And I was returning fire on the ground. With the three of us returning fire, the shooter was taken out. He was thrown to the ground, dying, dead. And when his buddies came in there to figure out what's going on, they gutted him. And they figured out. Just took the knives out and gutted him.
Yeah,
They're so mad.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, really, the best way to disconnect yourself from it is to kill who perpetrated it. Yeah.
Exactly. They took it as like he's attacking us.
Right.
We're taking him out.
Right.
Right.
It's the worst way to die over there. Be killed by your friends.
Yeah.
Well, one of the worst. But yeah, so he was taken out. I about halfway through returning fire, I lost so much blood to the point where I couldn't feel any pain. I was pretty cold. I couldn't hear anything.
Conscious or?
Oh, I was completely conscious.
Yeah.
And I couldn't hear nothing. But I was completely
getting hard
conscious,
to breathe and stuff
completely
too.
aware. I could
Getting
barely
shot in the
breathe.
back. Yeah.
But that has a lot to do with your waist as well.
Okay.
The one in the back didn't go through. Luckily, it just hit my vest. Gave me
So-
a pretty good bruise.
We should point out that you were wearing your side plates that day, and
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of nobody else was.
Yeah, the reason I'm happy that I took a step back and got hit in the side first is because I was wearing my side plates, and that round hit direct hit on my side plates.
And that's just extra protection from bullets?
It's a pretty massive hit, but if I didn't take a step back, that round would have hit my staff sergeant, Giancola, and would have killed him because he didn't have his.
And he's the guy that had to save your life when you were bleeding out.
Yeah, at the end when I was like lying dead, I already said my goodbyes, and I was just chilling, waiting for the end. He's the one that came over and saved my life.
Wow.
So it was good 1-all.
Yeah.
What happens from there? I'm sure you probably go in and out of consciousness eventually from losing blood.
I stayed conscious the whole time. I didn't scream. Like there was a bunch of people screaming. I mean, it hurt, but it wasn't terrible.
And there's medics somewhere near?
They're all trying to keep me alive and whatnot. On the car ride to Camp Karga to the the MASH tent, I flatlined once in the vehicle. I was out for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds. I was conscious the whole time, but I had no heartbeat, no breathing, nothing. I just came back. They hit me in the chest enough times. I finally came back. Got to the tent. They drilled something into my arm, like trying to get me pain meds and whatnot. Pain went away, and then I flatlined again there. I'm not sure if they gave me too much or if I'm just like that gone.
Right.
And they got me on the first helicopter because I was one of the most wounded, like most severe wounded. And I got over to Bagram Air Force Base to their surgery, and I flatlined on the helicopter way over. So I flatlined like 3 times, more than 30 seconds each. I'm not sure, but I was conscious the whole time. Like they said, "Oh, he's flatlined." I can remember everything. I could hear everything, remember everything. And then I get into the surgery tent, and they said they were talking to each other. They didn't think I could hear, but they were saying, "Oh, he's done. We don't know if we can do anything, but we'll try."
Jesus Christ.
And then they knocked me out, and I woke up about 8 hours later, perfectly fine.
Oh, like throw him over there in the corner. He's done. He's so
He's good.
He's alive. Fucking pop up.
Oh, that's on the on
Like
the
the fucking
vehicle ride
Undertaker.
over. They were messing with the other person in there, the female, and they were like, "Oh, he's done. He's not alive." And I was getting choked out by my armor, so I, sat up, took my armor
Motherfuckers, I'm
off.
still alive.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, I'm fucking alive," and they're like, "Oh shit."
Like our machines say that you're dead. So,
I know that at what point were you having the conversation with Senior Chief? Because I know that there was an interesting bond there between you and the Colonel Greene's aide.
Mm-hmm. The Senior Chief, she was keeping me after I said I'm alive, and they were trying to help out, and they're like trying to make sure my bandages and everything are good. She was talking to me, trying to keep me out of going into shock. And that was good because like there was a couple times I could feel me drifting into it because I lost. They put 9 units of blood, I think they said, into me.
That's
end.
That's a complete oil change for everybody, plus a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it was like because I'd get blood be taken out of me by the wound vacs, so they have to keep putting more and more and more in. By the end of the surgery, I think it was like 9. But like I lost so much, I was like drifting into shock. But she would like just grab my hand, talk to me. She didn't lose as much. She was more conscious. Talk to me, and I'd just wake right back up. It's like nothing happened.
shit.
Like the pain, it wasn't even worried. I just didn't want to pass out because I didn't want to die.
She had kind of similar wounds to you, to a leg injury, and
She got shot a couple times in the leg.
I think she had some maybe some internal like trunk kind of stuff. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just the interesting thing to me about that was that I was there the first time you guys saw each other again at Walter Reed several weeks after. Well, it was probably a month at least after the incident.
Yeah.
It was very interesting because like I could tell you guys are both back in that moment together.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, that first time we seen each other, it was just like I think you were there with me at OT the first time I seen the major.
Yeah.
And he came over, gave me a big hug, thanked me for what happened, what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty emotional that day too.
Yeah, how does that feel? I mean, you're in almost like a different world, a different like zone, like a different portal, and then you end up obviously in the East Coast of America again, and then now you're seeing all the same people that you had almost I'd imagine felt like a different life.
Yeah, it was different. I mean, I went from relaxing, not really paying attention too much at all, like right before the attack, to combat, to so you guys want to get a pizza?
Yeah.
All within a couple days.
Yeah. I remember what you were we were talking about this the other night, what you were thinking about.
Oh man.
While you right before the incident.
Oh man. Okay, so in Afghanistan getting dessert is impossible. No place has good dessert.
Fuck that place, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on.
No goat's milk ice cream or nothing.
Yeah, they don't have nothing, man. It sucks.
No donuts.
So,
goddamn.
Camp Karga, man, that place is known for its just chocolate freaking
Eclairs.
thank
Yes.
you. Chocolate eclairs, the best dessert in all Afghanistan. I tell you what, every time we go there, all of us like, yes.
Yeah, everyone's
Got
fired
the
up.
eclairs, man. So right before the attack, I was like, okay, 5 minutes and I get my eclair. All right, let's do it. And boom.
Damn.
So they they had told you along the way that you were probably going to lose your arm and lose your leg from the knee down.
If you're listening to audio, it looks like he's in one piece to me.
Yeah, he's in one piece now.
Yeah, moving pretty good.
Yeah, luckly.
We
We didn't think we were going to be moving pretty good for a long time.
Yeah. The first week,
Your hand was real complicated, I remember, right? Some movement, feeling, and sensation in your hand. How's your hand now?
It's working. Actually, Jim was there the day it started working.
Yeah, what had happened was he's got two major spots of injury in his shoulder, and the head of his humerus was shattered, and so everything's held together with metal at this point.
And all the connective tissues right there.
He's lost pretty much all of his anterior deltoid, for you physiology nerds. And so they had a lot of wound vac material. So he's basically hooked it up to pumps that are pulling the extra fluid off, and that's what helps the tissue actually heal. Like fresh tissue comes up from that, and because of the swelling, really the biggest painful thing was his shoulder the whole time. And we were talking about it the other night. And when they at Walter Reed, when they ask you, do you want to hold on to your arm and your leg? And you said yes. If you were going back now, you might have given up on the arm because that's really where the
Pretty
pain
painful.
was. That's
I would have told him to chop that thing.
Yeah. How you doing now, pain-wise and moving-wise? And
It's okay. I can get it about here, and it'll be fine, like about 90 degrees. But anything above that, or 45 degrees.
Yeah.
Anything above that is done.
Hurts or just
it
doesn't
hurts.
go?
It
Yeah,
hurts
hurts.
so bad. I have to force it up, like to go through the airport,
Right.
the little
Yeah.
spin thing.
Oh,
I have to
yeah.
force my arm up.
dang,
And
they
a
don't
lot
let
of-
you.
Yeah, they don't let me get the pat down unless I set off the metal detector. Well, sometimes it
Happens.
So with his hand, what happened was that probably not from the actual original injury, but from all the swelling, the nerve was damaged, and so there for a while he could not move the hand very much at all. And I was actually happened to be the other day that the sensation started to come back enough that you could move it. Talking on the telephone, not paying any attention, and looking over and seeing that your hand's actually moving again. The with your leg, I guess you should say that there was still as late as January of this year question about whether or not you're going to be able to keep that. And really, what happened is he lost a big chunk of his tibia, and like a really big chunk.
It just fell out.
Yes, like disc. Yeah, like they found pieces of bone.
Is that where the bullet?
Yeah,
hit
we
in the tibia?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like the bottom part of the tibia and like halfway up, a little bit to the top, is where 2 rounds hit.
Oh, wow.
And all the tibia in between fell out.
Yeah, damn.
And it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. The Danish hit me up and like, hey, so found your bone.
Oh, whoa!
Whole thing just fell out in the back of their truck.
Can you ship that to me?
Really, I could
do
eat.
you need it? Or?
Yeah, they used that. So anyway, they used a fixator to try to space that back out. And they actually had to stretch the remaining bone to be the right length.
Yep.
And then they ended up doing something of an experimental procedure to put a rod in, which is something that happens pretty normally in the world. If you happen to break a bone pretty badly, they put it back together like that. But when there's big hunk of bone missing, that's
different.
not commonly done. Thing that we don't think about in the civilian world in terms of what bullets can do. And somebody gets shot and the bullet is pretty intact.
Yeah.
In the civilian world using civilian ammo. In the military world, the bullets fragment so that they cause the
like
most
on
damage.
impact,
So they cause the most damage, and so they take out like big. If he was shot like that in the civilian world, it would have been a relatively quick recovery. There wouldn't have been nearly as much blood loss.
Yeah, but in the military, we're jerks. So
They're trying to fucking kill
Different
everybody.
goals.
yeah.
And so they were able to do a bone graft on top of that, and now you don't set off the metal detectors anymore.
Yeah, no, I successfully went through the metal detector this last time.
Oh, there you go.
It was awesome. They still made me put my hands up and get the spin thing, those jerks. And it's funny, when I go through there, there's the metal in my body picks up. So there's like segments on my leg, my arm, and they're like, okay, we got to do it again. I'm like, no, like just keep your arms up. I'm like, that's not that easy.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll learn one day.
How many days were you in the hospital for?
Oh, geez. We were there for the first 3 months straight.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
I think it was
then
3 months. And then you've been back in a couple of times since then for different surgeries.
And then when you were overseas, you were in the hospital for 3 weeks or something.
No, 3 days at Bath, and then 5 days at. No, that's not right.
Yeah, because you got to.
Because
it was probably 3 days apiece.
Yeah, it was 6 days.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got
6 days later.
You
They
got
got
the
you
Walter
back
Reed
here to
on
the
the
States.
11th.
They get you back here to the States pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as they feel safe.
Yeah, as soon as
Stable.
they think I can fly without dying.
Right.
Yeah.
And even then.
Yeah, that was a terror. Oh, man, that flight hurt so much.
I bet.
That the flight from Germany to the States was horrid.
Well, what is it? It's 8 hours.
Yeah,
And
and
it must be complicated for them to move you at all, too. I mean, they have to move you a little bit.
That was kind of the issue. That's how he ended up at Walter Reed instead of going to Texas, where he was originally supposed to go.
Fucking move me.
Yeah, because
pretty much. I asked them to keep me in the cot. I was like, just please keep me in the cot. Just put me on the bed. I don't care. Just put me on the floor. Just keep me in the damn cot. Like, well, we got to move you. Some little freaking private. Privates in the military are retarded, are idiots. I'm sorry, but 1 year in the military,
They just don't know enough yet.
they're freaking idiots. And I didn't have this way before, but a bunch of privates tried to move me from the cot to a bed, and they dropped me.
Oh, no.
And they landed me right on my freaking shoulder. Like, right on the shoulder that I couldn't even move half inch without hurting. It hurt so damn bad.
You're like,
And
thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, take me to the freaking hospital. They're like, no, you'll be fine. I was like, take me to the damn hospital now.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the first pain crisis that
That I didn't get meds for, by the way. They didn't give me shit.
Yeah, they wouldn't give him anything, but they did at least decide to keep him there, which was the thing. My wife and I caught up with Will. Will, as I've said it on the program before, Will is my younger son Sam's best friend. He grew up around my house, and at the time that actually before any of this happened, we gotten much closer than probably had ever been. And there's a lot of people in the world that you call by particular titles because it fits the best. And Will is, for all intents and purposes, my third son. And at the time that we were at Walter Reed, and before that, even we call us mom and dad, because it was the clearest relationship. It was the best way to not have to explain too much to the people at Walter Reed.
Yeah.
And Will was there actually because of the international press coverage, because it's an international incident.
Yeah.
Was there under an assumed name and in a locked unit, and we actually had to use that name when we were out in public, and you had to use yours until January.
Yeah, until the report dropped. You should have. When I had to go back into OT, and they're like, "What's up, JB?" I'm like, "Well, about that."
That's not really my name.
Yeah,
it's not really my name. And then, obviously, it's been very painful over the course of this last year. And what they don't tell you, one of the things they don't tell you, is that you're going to be on pain medication for a very long time, and you're very close now to being off altogether, right?
Yeah, I'm only on 20 milligrams of oxycodone a day. I used to be on like 200.
Yeah.
Wow. And like 300 milligrams of Dilaudid, and we had ketamine for a while. That was horrid.
Ketamine was a really bad experience.
Oh man, don't ever take that. I don't care how much pain
Special
you're in.
K, stay away.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have like hallucinations as real as us talking right now. And
if you can imagine somebody who's been through a number of instances where they could potentially have gotten some PTSD, and then this incident, and then give them a drug that causes them to hallucinate.
Yeah, it doesn't sound fun.
Not a good idea.
yeah, no.
I mean, it had to be done. There was we fought pain, especially with that first first 4 to 6 weeks really, intensely.
It was long, man. That was something like a year.
And then
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Even just a day of a lot of pain, even just something as simple as like a fucking toothache. Anyone who's ever had like a really bad tooth problem or just any sort of pain that you get, even just for a fucking day.
Yeah, you think it'll never go away.
So
Yeah,
stressful.
no.
It stresses your body out like crazy. Anybody who's had any like active release therapy or anything like that, or chiropractic, or someone just pushing on something that fucking hurts, it makes your whole body sweat because it's like stressful.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, being injured and being in pain for months on end has got to be.
Well, actually,
fucking
injured
crazy.
too. We always talk about it. Obviously, in the powerlifting strength world, people need to define what being hurt is and being injured. Like you're probably still injured, but you were injured for a year, and everyone's out here.
and even beyond injured, wounded.
Yeah, way next level.
Shit falling off,
Yeah.
and bones falling apart.
Yeah.
Shit blasted. Off
But I
and-
ripped a callus. Oh, you ripped a callus, huh, buddy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was. I had to extend my pain scale. Before I had the typical 1 through 10. Then it went through 1 through 20,
Yeah.
30, 40,
Yeah.
50,
Yeah.
100.
It's always like the little shit that hurts the worst. Though, was there anything weird like that? Like anything like where like there's just like a little thing of skin is off rather than like a muscle being blown off.
Oh man,
It's like some sort of little tiny fucking toenail or some
Yeah.
shit. You're like, that hurts so bad.
Yeah,
Can't handle it.
my arm when was it before or after this? After the sensation started coming back.
Yeah.
It was just, it felt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like it was on fire.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm holding fire up to my
Yeah.
skin. And then if
Just because
you
you're getting
touched it,
sensation
man.
back,
Yeah, it's trying to figure out which nerves to connect to
yeah,
what.
and it's doing the wrong ones.
Yeah, exactly. And like, let's say Jim's come over there sometimes, and like, you forget you can't touch the hand.
Right.
And he would put his hand like right here where the most was, and it felt like somebody is like stabbing me over
You're
and
like,
over
Jim,
again.
I love you. I'm going to kill you. Yeah.
There's many times like,
Yes. We went through a lot of interesting stuff together during that period of time. Like Will didn't have anything that looked like clothing on for probably the first month.
yeah, I'll have generals and senators coming in like, well, let me put my turban on.
It was it was interesting. Like peeing in a jug because you
yeah.
can't get up. I mean,
Yeah.
the only time that they pull you up is if they're moving you from one bed to another to do. You were in surgery for
Yeah.
something
Every-
every other day.
Yeah.
How many surgeries did you have?
Totally lost count. I don't
Yeah,
know.
30, 40,
something, yeah.
something. I'm not sure.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Do you need any further surgeries, you believe, or you don't
Hopefully
think so?
not. Well, so now that the bone is all healing up in my shoulder, I have what's called an HO. I'm not sure what it stands for.
Ho.
Yeah. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, hose.
But basically, the bone is growing out.
Right.
So they said, hopefully it'll stop. But if it doesn't stop and starts penetrating the skin, I got to open my shoulder back up, cut it all out, and do that pretty much every other year.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So if it stops growing, they're like, yes, cool, you're done. But some HOs never stop growing. It's just continuously growing.
Yeah. You can pull your
Oh, yeah.
sleeve up. You can see
Oh, yeah.
what's
Yeah,
up there.
This is where the round went in, destroyed the head of the humerus. They said it bounced around some muscles up here and then was thrown out here.
Oh.
Wow.
So they said because the muscles up here were so strong, it didn't let it penetrate,
Right.
up here and made it forced it to go down.
Right.
There's that one. That's actually the most, like the fastest healing, the hell is
Area?
it called? Yeah, the skin graft.
Oh,
that I
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the fastest healing one. That one was healed and this one was still like bleeding. We're like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
To run down some of the
Yeah, those
surgeries.
wounds can stay open for a long ass time, right?
Yeah, yeah. To run down some of that, they had to move a section of skin from your quad
Yep.
down to cover up your lower leg, where a bunch of skin had been lost in the
Yeah,
in
a
the
little
shooting.
bit of skin and a little bit of muscle that
Yeah,
had to move down because I pretty much lost my whole calf muscle. Like pretty much the whole dang thing.
yeah.
They moved that down to my leg.
They grabbed another skin graft from the other side to cover up where they had taken it from here.
So now this leg looks like it's like a leg and then it indents.
Yeah, and then the shoulder. Those are also skin grafts they harvested from
My left thigh again.
Left thigh again. Okay.
They did the first one on the inside. No, where's that picture? It was like inside thigh, I think. Oh yeah, there's a little blood. Sucks. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, they grabbed the first one from the outside thigh, and then they came into the inside thigh and grabbed the next one.
God damn, your hand looks fat in that picture.
Oh,
it
man.
was. It was really bad.
That's nothing.
I noticed that your leg didn't look that swollen.
That's
You're
the good
even-
leg,
That's
right?
my good leg.
No, I know, but
Oh, the other
even
one.
the other one?
Yeah.
photos of the other one with your shin kind of opened up
Yeah.
and
Yeah, there's
it
sometimes
looks
where
okay.
there's sometimes where it would get so swollen that they thought the ends of my fingers and the ends of my toes were gonna just rip open.
Just explode.
Yeah.
They feel like hot and shit like that. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
it is terrible. Like I touch it, and
Yeah.
I can go like I'll touch and go in, and I'm like, oh, that's bad.
We have some guys in here in the gym that are just like that because
Yeah,
they're that
donuts mostly. Same situation.
diabetes.
It's like, well, maybe a pack of donuts for breakfast isn't a good thing.
It's
Yeah.
the best idea, yeah.
Tastes good.
But that's that was the biggest problem was that shoulder and then I because I saw you I was back there in April and they had given you the go ahead to start working out again and then you did and then immediately you couldn't again
Yeah,
because
the very first workout, they're like, oh, no, you're done. And I'm like, I just do lap pull downs. So like, no, we heard like, it was bad. You heard this big rip just all the way down my shoulder, like all the way down my arm, just and they're like, no, let's get it checked out. It took them until last Friday to clear me to work out.
Oh, okay.
It's like, okay.
so now you can get back to it.
Yeah,
To-
to one workout, and then they're going to stop me.
Well, no.
Basically, you had a bunch of scar tissue and adhesions and stuff, and when that popped, everybody heard it, and then they couldn't clear you for that period of time because they would take you in to do an MRI. Well, he's got way too much metal everywhere to do that, so they have to do an arthrogram, which
Yeah, CT
even
arthrogram.
even in a facility like Walter Reed, takes a long time to schedule.
Yeah, it took a long time to get the schedule, but then I had to travel to another base so I can get a meeting with the guy because he was like, well, I'll be back in Walter Reed in 3 months, or you can come to this other base next month. I'm like, yeah.
You're like,
yeah, let's do that.
I'm just sitting around and I need to work out.
Yeah. It's like, well, maybe sitting at home and eating so much donuts. Let's get me cleared, yeah.
So you're in the hospital for about 4 months or so. How many people came and visited you, and
Oh, Jesus.
what was the impact of some of that? Like, other military personnel, people that have kind of been through the fire before.
There, we had all kinds of military personnel. We had everything from privates to generals coming through. We had a whole bunch of engineers because I was working with engineers, but we had special forces come through. We've had rangers come through. Everybody to see and talk to me about what happened.
That's got to really help, right? I mean, you're just sitting there day in and day out, and just
Yeah,
some days are probably a little better than others, but for the most part, it probably fucking sucks, right?
Yeah, like ask Jim for the first 2 months, we didn't get a single minute to ourselves from dawn to dusk.
It's just because the nurses and stuff are poking and prodding at you pretty much all day, doctors and stuff, or just people visiting.
It's a combination of the two, but literally you couldn't. We would decide to close the door just because things would be loud, and we try to keep the things
fucking
somewhat
opens right back up again.
Yeah, exactly. It was like we could have installed a turnstile,
Yeah,
revolving door.
We've been a lot more efficient
because he was on 3 different services, I think. So different services in the hospital were working on him, and so all of their teams will come in all the time, plus dignitaries and other people that wanted to meet him, plus support services for wounded warriors were all over us, and there's no coordination among those things. Everybody has good intentions, but in reality, they're all coming at it from different angles.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'd have Senate. Oh man, there's we found out I was like insanely allergic to doxycycline. It's a malaria drug that you use to prevent it. Insanely allergic. As soon as I take it, I'm projectile vomiting for hours. It's bad. Like they didn't believe me.
Yeah, that was a long
And
fight.
I
That was
told,
a good week-long fight.
Yeah, exactly. The first time they came in, I was like, okay, I'll take it, but you sit right here. And they're like, okay. And 15 minutes after I took
right on
it,
your
I had
face.
Cheryl holding just this pack, and just projectile, and they're like, oh well.
but they gave him a shot of that right before
Well, it was an IV. It was
yeah,
an
it was
IV
IV,
drip
yeah.
of it right before Heidi Shue. I think she's a senator or assistant secretary of defense.
Assistant Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, she came in, and I'm not gonna be sick and stuff in front of these such high people. So I dealt with it for 20 minutes while she was in there. It was bad. Like I
Just
felt
like spinning. Like I need to fucking puke.
yeah. I had this. You just see this rash. It started as soon as they put it in. It started out. By the time they came, it was my whole arm.
Oh,
Just the whole circle on the arm. I'm like, oh man, burning sensations. I wanted to puke. I'm dizzy. Like I'm sweating like a racehorse. I'm just like, she left. I'm like, get the nurse.
We had White House staffers. We had assistant secretaries of the Army. We had
NFL.
Oh, yeah.
the NFL. We had
I saw
we
that
had,
picture. That's pretty cool.
Pittsburgh Steelers. The Roonies came in. I didn't realize that Rooney Mara, the actress, and her sister, who's also an actress, it's the same family.
I have no idea who that is.
She was in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Never saw it, but I know what that is.
Okay. Anyway, blew my mind.
You should watch more movies.
Yeah,
man.
I do. You probably watched every movie under the sun, huh?
Now, yes.
three tours and then getting shot.
Yeah. Jeez. A lot of video games, a lot of movies.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the most impressive guest that we had out of the whole thing was Major General Greene's wife, Sue, who came. This is I have up here some pictures from his funeral at Arlington Cemetery, and they came to us. They came to see Will later the same day. Which
the funeral.
Yeah.
Dang.
We actually had the highest ranking non-commissioned officer come in and tell us about the service, and then they came in, and it was mind-boggling that they were able to do that.
Yeah. And hold it together and everything.
Yeah, but the sense of duty that they had to the other people who were injured, is astronomical, to the point that Will and Christy are actually using the general's car.
The late general's car. Yeah, they are. We're so thankful for having Sue in our life. She is such an amazing person, so caring, so sweet, and so strong. She's so strong for her family. If it wasn't for her, I believe her family wouldn't be taking this nearly as well.
Where are they from or located now?
They're still in Bethesda. That's where they had a house on the house at. Oops. Sorry.
Breaking shit.
That's right. My bad. Sorry.
So, where are you now, and what's the future?
Well, we're still in Walter Reed. We're at the family housing, the building 62. It's for wounded warriors. I have the whole 2-bedroom apartment. A lot of guys just have one side because they're by themselves. Sorry. But because my NMA, Christy, we're able to get the whole thing. And we've had some visitors, but it's a lot different now that I'm outpatient and able to.
But the president
I already
came,
seen everybody in the damn world, anyways.
Right.
But yeah, the president came by.
Wow.
Talked to me, let me know about my
Donald
nomination.
Trump?
No, not that. He needs to, Dave.
Let you know about what? What did?
My nomination for the Medal of Honor.
Cool.
So I got nominated for that. I don't know if I'll get that. It's a lot of investigating. They only give it about 1 out of every 10 nominations. But it's an honor to be nominated.
Right. Period. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great honor. The CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, gave me a call.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
That was like a month into the hospital.
Yeah, he was. Will worked for Apple before all this. He's a reservist, so he had a real job in the real world.
Yeah.
We also the first day that they let Will out of the hospital to do anything, we went to see Guardians of the Galaxy, and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff was at Walter Reed looking for him, and we never crossed paths with.
Yeah, I come out and I look at my phone because I'm not an asshole. I put my phone on silent and I don't look at it during the movies. And I come out and look at it, and there's like 20 missed calls, 50 missed text messages. I'm like, oh shit.
Something important must have happened.
Yeah. So So what happens
sorry.
from here? Like how much longer in the military, and what's your prognosis in terms of being able to function?
Well, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be in the military. They are retiring me as soon as everything's done. The med board takes at least 9 months, and we haven't even started that yet. So it's 9 months from whenever we start, but they have to make sure that I'm physically okay, mentally okay, all that good jazz. And with the problems I'm still having with my shoulder and my leg, I don't think they're going to start the med board for a while. But whenever we get out, we are going to be moving back to SAC because, it's not 20 degrees here.
There's that.
Yeah, it's
I
way
think
too.
after getting shot, you could, start your rap career now.
I have more than 50 cent, okay?
Yeah, see? Yeah.
I'm 75 cent.
Yeah, see? There we go. We got to start.
And I mean, really, you also had sustained other injuries before this happened, and that's also part of the equation as well.
Yeah,
you're deployed in Bahrain, Iraq, Bahrain,
Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, it's with the injuries I've had before, like the injury now that I have my left hand, I've broken my right hand before, and because I'm using it so much, a lot of that, like being able to close my hand and keep it closed stuff is really starting to come back. The TBI that I have a pretty good TBI, traumatic brain injury. My memory is almost nothing. Like we'll have a conversation, and like 10 minutes after I walk away, I'll completely forget what we talked about.
Right.
Not that we talked, but what we talked about. Or on the couch the other day with my cousin, we're talking about something. A commercial came on. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, let's watch the commercial." After the commercial, forgot completely what we're talking about. So I just stayed quiet until she started back up.
You were actually
Short-term memory loss.
Yeah.
You played high school football,
Mm-hmm.
and so you had some concussions then, and then
I had concussions then. I had concussions on my first tour. I busted my head pretty good on my second tour. Like I knocked myself out in the gym. Actually, I was doing a pull up, and the machine they had a screw sticking out about an inch.
Oh shit!
And I was doing front pull ups, and then I went to do my back pull ups, and the first one came up, clocked my head right in the middle.
Oh,
Knocked myself out. When they finally found me about 20 minutes later, there's blood all over my face.
My God.
It was bad. I was like, what?
and that first deployment, it was explosions.
Yeah. For that, yeah. And then, that was a lot. Then we had more stuff like that in Afghanistan. But, it's okay. But my memory is starting to come back.
Yeah.
that's good.
Getting a little better.
What's your day-to-day like now? You said you're kind of outpatient. You kind of get to do whatever you want, or?
It depends. If I have appointments, then I obviously have to go to the appointments.
Yeah.
But like most of the time I have OTPT every day. I have appointments to check up on either my leg, shoulder, arm, something to come up during the week. Mental health appointments, all this different stuff. And I don't do that. I'm usually playing golf.
Cool.
Trying to do something to pass my time instead of staying indoors and becoming huge. There's some guys that got there the same time as me and weigh about 200 pounds more than me now.
Yeah.
They're just giants. And I'm like, well, that sucks for you.
What message do you have to some other people out there that are wounded, that have had similar issues or have gone through similar things?
That you're not alone. Don't think that. A lot of vets think that they're alone in this. You're not at all. There's somebody out there. And don't give up. Like we just had a couple of vets that I know commit suicide. At Building 62, there's people try it all the time. It's just they give up. They're like, I don't have a career in the Army. I don't know, or the military. I don't know what I want to do. I'm just going to commit suicide. It's like, don't do it. There's so much more else you can do. You're a wounded vet with a Purple Heart and maybe a Bronze Star,
Right.
or a bunch of other stuff. And it's like, you have plenty of opportunities for the future. People are going to pick you up in a heartbeat to do jobs for them. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't kill yourself.
Yeah, if you have the strength to endure fucking any military training and get through it and be part of our military, then you have the strength to probably do just about anything.
Yeah, there's more suicides due to mental health. Like, if they got enough therapy, they'd be alive. But there's 10 10 times more suicides than there was deaths in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Through
Have you had to have therapy?
Oh yeah. I have really severe issues with what the heck is it called?
You forgot.
Yeah. Right. I know.
Let's get him a pill for that.
That's like in my head too. But like survivor's guilt. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I have pretty bad survivor's grief. Like just like Memorial Day comes around, that's really bad. I didn't sleep. Like when this came around, if I didn't have the Live Day party and have all those people there to talk to, like I would have been probably in my room just sitting there, sulking.
Which is why I told you needed to come home.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
It seemed like you got some pretty good treatment, but like maybe there's some people out there that haven't been necessarily shot that have had other issues that are just kind of keeping it in. Is there like some way they can reach out to? Is there a website? Is there can they contact Wounded Warriors? Is there somewhere they could contact or something like that, or is everyone treated the same?
If you're not injured, it's really hard to receive treatment. Like they can issue with PTSD, but they put the injured people over you every time.
Of course, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's going to be
not an
hard.
easy thing to solve. Yeah,
one of the worst, in my opinion, injuries in Afghanistan is actually a non-physical injury. When you're in Afghanistan and you're in a green on blue, what we call green on blue attack, insider attack, what we were in, you don't have to be injured to not trust anybody. You can come home and your best friend, you're like, I don't trust you, go away.
Yeah,
and because of that, you isolate yourself.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you have no friends.
Right.
And you're worse off than the guy next to you that got shot,
right,
who's getting help for his trust issues. And to me, that's the worst possible thing that can happen to you. Because I know plenty of guys that have severe PTSD, severe trust issues because of somebody they knew attacking them in Afghanistan,
right,
shooting them in the back, shooting at them from behind. It's like,
is there any like any tips that you have that's something that has helped you? I know you said like not to give up, but is there something like maybe you wake up in the morning and you do something, or you look forward to something, or there's something that you're currently doing that you look forward to that is kind of helping you to not give up?
Yeah, it's every day I wake up, Christy gets up and she instantly goes do whatever. I usually sit on my bed and think for a couple minutes, just get myself ready for the day. Like just try to tell myself, all right, it's another day. Let's see what I can do. Let's see if I can walk a little bit further, if I can lift a little bit harder, if I can like just be a little bit happier,
be a little better than the day before.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's going to be your hard weeks, of course, but don't let the hard weeks take over your life.
Right.
Like this last week, I was an asshole. It wasn't a good week. I was an asshole. But if I let myself take over that, then I'm going to be that every single day.
Right.
But
those kind of things are tough when you get angry. Then you're like pissed at yourself for being angry. You're like, why the fuck am I so grumpy?
Exactly.
And then it makes it even fucking worse.
Reason.
You have no reason, but you're fucking frustrated for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's now I'm feeling a lot better now that it's not the 5th, and the 5th's not coming up, and
yeah,
the 6th I started feeling instantly better. Like, okay, cool, I got another year before that happens.
Yeah.
To just comment a little bit on the depth of the survivor guilt. When Will was in the hospital, I think about 2 weeks later, maybe not quite fully 2 weeks later, there was another incident where it was actually a roommate of someone that Will knows. It was kind of his first sergeant when he was when he first went into the Army. Was killed. He was like, his throat was cut, whatever. And Will is talking to his friends back in Afghanistan, and they're scared. And he's sitting in the bed, like he's peeing in a jug. He's wearing a sheet, and he's like, I need to go back. I need to be there to help protect my guys. I was like, Will, that's not going to happen. You're not going anywhere.
Not realistic, yeah.
Yeah, it's not realistic, but the drive is so strong to try to protect the guys that you feel responsible for. Yeah. And it's no wonder that it ends up being a sense of survivor guilt that goes on for.
Yeah, we had a couple attacks on like at our guys, around our guys after I left. About 2-3 weeks after that, my sergeant never messes up. Jankel never ever gets anything wrong overseas. He's like one of the most squared away sergeants I have ever met. He's smart. He's tactful, whatever it's called. Tactful. Yeah.
I'm not sure what just go on.
Yeah, whatever.
Tactically proficient.
Yeah, something like that.
There you go.
But he messed up. Only time ever messing up in Afghanistan. Before that and after that, he got his time mixed up with another group's. So he was like, "Oh, you know what? We're not even ready to go. You guys just roll out. We'll roll out in your time." Like, okay, cool, no problem. As soon as that group rolled out, a suicide bomber killed every single one of them.
Wow.
So if he didn't mess up, then they would have died.
Right.
And it's like, it sucks, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's some shit in life that happens that you fucking can't take back. And some things it does seem like you do have control over, but certainly shit like that, you really, it seems like you have control over, but I would, being detached from it, I would say you got no fucking control over that.
Yeah.
You literally have no control over who's going to fucking bomb somebody at what time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like
you can't foresee that,
Yeah, we try to make sure, everybody's good. We try to pick out the guys that are suspicious, but I mean,
right.
It's not much.
I mean, Mike is fucking suspicious. Look at him.
I agree.
Just over here standing in the corners. Like,
I agree. I agree 100%.
Well, knowing that I need to get Will somewhere by 1:00.
Yep.
We're going to bring this one in for a landing, but I want to do that.
I got the announcement if you want it.
Yeah, go for it.
Right you got it.
Related and semi-not related, our good friend Arturo, who I believe was a Ranger.
He was a Ranger.
Now kind of in the fitness world. Him and a couple friends made a company called Memorial Wraps. It's owned by a bunch of veterans, and it's basically quality friction wrist wraps, and they mostly give back to charitable organizations for people who have fallen in the line of duty. So the website is Memorial Wraps. It's like a weightlifting, Olympic lifting wrap. I think it's made out of some cool.
He's giving some of the proceeds back to
Yeah.
to fund military.
They're just trying to support and share. So check them out. Show them some support. Arturo's a good guy. Served for a long time, Ranger, total badass.
And these are all, service disabled veterans. It's a service disabled veteran small business.
Yeah.
So,
and I was also going to say, I want to give you an email if there's any guys out there that are affected from insider attacks, have any trust issues, have any things where they just don't think they can talk to their friends. You can email me. Let me know. I'll get back to you. Talk to you. I'm a vet. I've been there. I've done that. I know how it is. I know how you feel. So if you need to talk to anybody, let me know.
What's your email address?
It's going to be I'll give it to you.
Well, put it in.
Yeah,
cool. Really cool.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Anything else you'd like to say in closing? Anybody else you want to give a shout out to, or anything else you want to comment on?
Everybody at Walter Reed who was so awesome to us at the beginning, and even some of the ones who were not awesome at the beginning actually still had jobs to do.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim and Cheryl, they came out. They didn't have to. They came out and took care of me for the first 3 months. I mean, I'm super grateful.
Yeah, and Sam.
Yeah, and Sam, he came out and took care of me for 2 months after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had to deal with me when I was trying to come off meds. Oh, man, I give him credit for that.
Flashing on prescription thugs, like the thing is, like once you're addicted because of pain, if you don't have your medication, you withdraw.
Yeah.
And you're an asshole, and it's terrible.
And I didn't want to continue taking the amount of meds they gave me, so I was self-withdrawing. And it was, oh, man.
Well, it's good that you went through that process, because you don't want to be hooked on that shit. That gives you a whole nother
off. By the end of the month,
set of fucking problems.
Yeah. End of the month, I'll be done with these prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Off of them completely.
All right, Will, it was awesome having you on the show. This is our longest show ever. We might as well just stretch it out to the 2-hour mark since we're like right there.
2 minutes.
It's just about 2 more minutes to go. We talked earlier about like great athletes, and we talked about Michael Jordan and all these different great things, but what you did is certainly great, and we appreciate it, and it allows me to just sit here and worry about how much I fucking deadlift rather than like worrying about getting fucking shot at. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It means a lot to us, and thank you so much.
That video you guys made for me right when I got injured, I really appreciate it. I love that video, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I really appreciated it.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. You don't realize the impact, but when someone's down, when someone's hurt, someone's wounded, even just someone just gets hurt and goes to the hospital, fucking hit them up, man, because it sucks. It sucks to even be in there for one fucking, just being in there for one goddamn day is one day too many.
Yeah, let alone 4 months.
Yeah, I put that video together, and all the guys, talked directly to Will on camera for Will, and what happened with that was that the pictures that Will had sent me, the Pentagon didn't enjoy that they were out there. So that video was private for a while, but it's public again, and I'll link it here.
I got chewed out when I was under surgery for
you're like, I'm not gonna remember this.
Oh no.
Big Army, as they say, didn't like it too much.
No, not so much. It was not very popular.
No.
And the fact that I didn't let them know I was going to be doing the SAC B interview, and then that came out, that
didn't work over well either. Like, you'll be out in a couple of years.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny the fact that I did that on purpose, but whatever.
It happened. Yeah. All right, that's it from us. Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and may all your shits be tapered. I'm at Mark Smelly Bell on Instagram and Twitter.
Find me at Silent Mike with 2Ks, Instagram and Twitter.
I am Jim McD, STTV, everywhere that I would want you to find me. Follow the show on Instagram
2 hours.
at Mark Bell's PowerCast, Twitter at STJimSack, Facebook.com/SuperTrainingGym, and we are out with the longest one ever.
Joe Rogan can do it. We can do it.
That external just gets longer and longer.
There it is. 2 hours.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Mark Bell's PowerCast is a production of